after you work out, you get into the sauna. We were talking earlier. I've got the eco sauna from your
Mhm.
brand, Heavenly Heat,
Yeah.
best sauna ever. I've done a
Yeah.
lot of saunas. I freaking love it. What am I missing out though by not having the red light panel built in? Because I think about that. I'm like, I'm missing out.
Yeah, so when it comes to our two like most popular saunas that we have, it is either the Eco, which you have, which is amazing because it's small, super powerful. There's a bunch of things that I love about it. And then there's our two-person red light therapy panel with the panel built into the wall, and then the fans have exterior access where they push out the hot air so they don't overheat. Um, in terms of what you're missing out on, I mean, some of the benefits of red light, you could kind of argue you might be getting with the sauna, but I think heat therapy in general is the number one longevity activity that most people should be doing consistently. And, red light is behind that, but probably still in the top five, depending on how you look at everything. Mitochondrial health for the red light, I think you could missing some of those benefits if you compare the two totally separate. But honestly, you can still get a red light panel and just do it separately. It does not have to be at the same time that you use the sauna, just that some people enjoy that because they can do two in one. But I will say, in order for the red light to be effective, you need to do it right when you start the sauna, because as you sweat and your core body temperature increases, the red light therapy is, slightly less effective depending on, if you're covered in sweat or whatnot. So I will do it right away. But I mean, in general, the fact that you're doing heat therapy consistently is huge. And I mean, I'm just excited that you have the Eco because it gets hot quickly. You can, get a session in, any time of the day. It's like right there for, super easy access. We have the Eco, and then we have a red light. We have the 4-person red light in our garage gym, and we'll use that together or we'll use it separately. And then, the thing I like about that is you can lay down if you want, but you don't have to lay down to obviously, do it or get the benefits. But red light is our second kind of line that we kind of dove into. So we're, heat therapy, we have about 8 saunas that have launched, and then we have 3 red light panels. And the red light therapy is, it's good for wrinkles, it's good for mitochondrial health. You need the correct irradiance, which we've achieved. So we're excited about that. But, ours has 5 wavelengths, and there's people out there that think it's kind of a just like a moment or like a trend, but there is a decent amount of literature that is pretty exciting. Not as much as sauna, in my opinion, because the stats on sauna are honestly out of this world. There's a bunch of like Finnish research that gets quoted all the time, but I think the most popular stat is like 40% reduction in all-cause mortality if you use the sauna 4 times a week or more, compared to someone who only uses it once. So there is a compounding effect, kind of like a Goldilocks thing, but in the other direction. So it kind of stacks the benefit. But red light therapy is something that we also do pretty consistently. But all of this is second place for what I call the thrifty 3, which is nutrition, sleep, and fitness. So doesn't cost a ton to, prioritize your sleep. Doesn't cost a ton to go on a run or go on a few walks every day or lift weights. The food part can get costly depending on how you do it, but most people eat out and still end up spending, the same, if not more money on crap food than if they were to buy or grow their own food, which, more than most people. So I think all of this, there's so much on X and Reels and TikTok about all these different therapies people can do, and like Brian Johnson's going, the most extreme. But for like my family and my friends, I'm like, look, prioritize sleep, fitness, and nutrition. And then I would say number 4 is heat therapy, and then you can kind of start to stack all of them.
I was talking to my dad yesterday or the day before about his eyes are starting to go a little bit, so he needs like reading glasses and whatnot. And I remember listening to Joe Rogan, who said like the red light panel like really helped his eyes and like kind of stop the degradation of his eyes. Have you done anything on that?
Yeah, I have heard Rogan talk a few times about that supplement he also takes from Pure Encapsulations. I actually, like the next day, I went online and it was like sold out. And I'm like, gosh, that's his
Joe
podcast is
Rogan effect.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of red light therapy, I think it does strengthen my eyes. My eyesight isn't, up or down that much, but the thing that I do for eyes a lot that I would, I would advise your dad to do is, go on a walk first thing in the morning and don't look at the sun obviously directly, but make sure the sun is kind of hitting the white part of your eye. So walking in the direction or at an angle to the sun, you do want like the sunlight to get in the whites of your eyes. And then same thing with red light. Nothing I say can be medical advice because, I'm not a doctor and I'm not, someone's person. But when it comes to red light therapy, the panels that we sell, um, in general, I would advise people to kind of do the same thing where you don't look at the red light, but you look to the side and then still allow for like those wavelengths to hit your eye, which I think is beneficial. But I haven't seen like a radical improvement or like down escalation for my, eyesight, but I'm still like below 40 for a few
Yeah.
years.